You sit across from a stranger in the candlelight. It looks like a perfect first date. Music, smiles. But under the table, your heart drums like war. You're trying to look calm, but every cell is braced for conflict. You don't even realize you've stepped onto a battlefield.
Every word you speak is carefully chosen, as if you're making a move in a chess match. You laugh and smile, but all the while, you're analyzing. And your date is doing the same, gauging your responses, testing your interest. It's polite on the surface, a silent duel underneath. You both want something: affection, validation, sex, commitment. Yet neither of you wants to lose advantage. Every question is a probe, every answer a defense. Two generals meeting under a flag of truce, smiling while sizing each other up. This is the battle of the sexes, disguised as a candlelit date. You've been told dating is about finding your other half. But in truth, another script runs beneath the romance. Love isn't just cooperation. It's conflict, an evolutionary tug-of-war written into us. Even in tender moments, an invisible negotiation simmers underneath. Why conflict? Because men and women's desires don't perfectly align. Your biology wired you with goals that can clash with those of the opposite sex. It's nobody's fault, just nature. For millennia, our ancestors survived by outmaneuvering each other. Love became an alliance tinged with competition, a mix of mutual need and self-interest. In reproduction, nature dealt uneven cards. A woman carries a child for 9 long months, risking her health and time. A man can create a child in one brief encounter and walk away. This asymmetry forged 2 different strategies. Men, with their cheap and plentiful sperm, evolved a strategy of quantity. One man with many partners had more chances to pass on his genes. That impulse still echoes now in men's desire for variety and novelty. It's the shadow of a primal strategy. Spread your seed wide. Play the odds. For women, the strategy became quality over quantity. She can only have a few children, so each must count. Women evolved to be choosy and cautious, seeking men who show they will provide or have strong genes. What looks like coyness or high standards is a survival instinct. Don't give yourself away until you've vetted that he's worth the risk. And so the conflict was set. The male drive for quantity collides with the female drive for quality. One pushes for sex sooner, the other holds back until trust is certain. Neither approach is wrong. Both made sense in the world that shaped us. But when these strategies meet, tension sparks. Evolution created a quiet tug-of-war between the sexes, hidden beneath love's pretty facade. If you're a man on a date, you feel pressure to impress. You talk up your achievements and insist on paying for dinner to signal you can provide. Every brag and chivalrous gesture is part of an ancient script, the male display. You're basically saying, choose me, I'm worthy. If you're a woman on that date, you have your own strategies. You highlight your attractiveness with dress and charm, signaling youth and health. But you also stay a bit coy, not rushing to show all your cards. You might test him with small challenges to see if he'll pursue and prove he's safe. Part of you is thinking, show me I can trust you. Both sides do this without even thinking, and both use little deceits. Men often promise more commitment than they truly intend just to get sex. Women sometimes hint at sex or use a man's desire to encourage his investment. Each presents a slightly polished version of themselves. He exaggerates his sincerity. She emphasizes her allure. These quiet bargains happen every day. Be honest. Haven't you played these games too? You've held back your real feelings to seem stronger. Waited to reply so you don't look desperate. pretended to care less than you do. It's almost automatic. We all do it, telling ourselves we're just protecting our hearts. It's part of the game, this contest of who needs who less. This is why dating can feel like an act. You do want love, but you're also jockeying for position. And when someone feels outplayed, bitterness follows. How often have you heard, "Men only want one thing," or "Women are so manipulative"? Those aren't truths. They're the cries of people who got hurt in the game. One feels used, the other feels tricked. Both feel betrayed. And if you think this is just cynicism, look at the evidence. The battle of the sexes shows up in studies and statistics too. Modern life hasn't erased these dynamics. It's amplified them. Technology and shifting norms throw these differences into starker relief. The patterns are everywhere once you know how to see them. Take online dating. A small fraction of men gets most of the matches, while most men get none. Women swipe past the majority, focusing on a few. It's the 80-20 rule come to life. A few men have all the options, the rest are invisible. Women have endless choices in theory, yet they all seem to chase the same top guys. It's a lopsided market that leaves most people unsatisfied. In one famous experiment, an attractive woman asked random men for casual sex, and most said yes. But when men approached women with the same offer, none of the women agreed. Not one. The outcome wasn't surprising, but it was illuminating. Given a chance for no-string sex, men leapt at it, women recoiled. The quantity versus quality drive on full display. Surveys tell the same story. Ask men and women how many partners they'd ideally want, and men list far more. Many men fantasize about numerous flings. Most women prefer a few deep connections. Ask if they'd rather have many casual trysts or one lasting love. And men lean toward the trysts while women choose love. Not everyone fits the mold, but the overall trend is clear. Consider how this plays out in real dating. Many women gravitate toward the top tier of men, the most attractive or successful, leaving the rest largely ignored. Those top men, flooded with options, often see no reason to settle down. Meanwhile, the average man faces rejection and grows resentful, convinced women only want the elite. And women end up asking where all the good men went. It's a vicious cycle of mismatched desire. Technology turbocharged this dynamic. What used to be a local dating scene is now global and endless. You can swipe through hundreds of potential partners in an hour. Infinite choice makes everyone feel disposable. Why work on one relationship when another is a click away? Why overlook a flaw when a perfect person might be in your inbox tomorrow? The ancient mating game has become a frantic marketplace. A man might escape into porn and lose motivation for real relationships. A woman might bask in endless online attention and find no real partner measures up. These virtual fixes feed our desires but leave us empty. We tell ourselves we've evolved beyond these drives. Women may be independent, but often still prefer a man who's stronger or more successful. Men may support equality, but deep down, many still feel the urge to protect and provide, or feel unsettled if they can't. Our minds embrace new ideals, but biology still whispers old directives. More freedom has made things more confusing. Women can have flings like men, but many still hope a fling becomes love and feel hurt when it doesn't. Men sometimes feel unsure of their role with an independent woman and grow frustrated. Misunderstandings pile up. Every day, hearts break in this battle. Think of the kind guy who loves a woman but watches her choose someone more exciting. He's heartbroken. Or the woman who gives her all to a man and he leaves. She's devastated. These are casualties of this war. After a few wounds, you get defensive. You guard your heart and show less vulnerability. Maybe you delay replies or ghost them before they ghost you. If you never let anyone in, they can't hurt you, right? But those defenses that protect you can also block out love. Look at the bitterness around us. Scorned men trade tips on how to manipulate or hate women. Burned women warn each other to trust no man. Both sexes dig in, ready to hurt before they get hurt. It's a cold war now. Everyone's guarded, expecting the worst. In this climate, true intimacy struggles to grow. How can love thrive when you've been taught to see the other side as the enemy? Even those who seem to win at this game pay a price. The man who seduces many and treats love like a sport often finds all those conquests feel hollow. He wins bedmates, but not fulfillment. The woman who has men wrapped around her finger but never lets anyone in ends up lonely too. The supposed winners often end up just as empty as the losers. You can rack up conquests and favors and still feel utterly alone at night. Many marriages break under this tension, and children learn early that love can turn to pain. Nobody's fault, just nature. Two people who just want to love become adversaries without meaning to. Some people give up on love altogether, deciding it's better to be alone than constantly at war. And who could blame them? It's a cruel paradox. We need each other, yet that need so often turns into pain. It's like nature handed us a riddle we can't solve. Think about it. Have you ever seen a relationship with absolutely no games, no power moves? Or is the idea of perfect trust just a fairy tale? Picture two people dropping all pretense on a first date. She openly admits what she really wants and fears. He does too. Would they connect deeply or just scare each other off? Would the war end, or would they simply realize they want different things and walk away? We almost never find out, because hardly anyone dares to be that honest. We're too afraid honesty will cost us our chance. Some say they've found a love with no games at all. Maybe a few truly have. But even in the happiest marriages, there are moments of quiet power struggle or little secrets. We're complicated creatures. Even in love, it's rare for every guard to be down. We can try for total openness, but can we ever fully achieve it? Soulmates and fairy tales make love seem effortless, but real love is messier. Even the best couples deal with compromises and disagreements. Happily Ever After skips the part where love takes work, where even true love requires patience and negotiation. Not because love isn't real, but because we are human. Fairy tales leave out the truth that even in the greatest love, there's some struggle. What if simply knowing about this conflict could help overcome it? Maybe if two people see the game, they can agree not to play. They could vow to be honest and empathetic instead of manipulative. It's a hopeful idea that by naming the game, you steal some of its power. Perhaps you find someone who also understands, and together you put down your weapons. Maybe that leads to a truer peace. Or maybe it's just wishful thinking. Can we really override millions of years of wiring just by deciding to? We say love conquers all. But what if love itself is shaped by this conflict? Love grew out of these evolutionary struggles. It's the sweet face of a harsh reality. So perhaps every relationship, no matter how loving, has some undercurrent of negotiation. Maybe true love is just the war in a quieter form, a truce rather than a victory. It's a somber thought, but maybe total harmony is something we strive for, not something we ever perfectly attain. Think back to that first date couple. They keep dating, fall in love, commit. Does the war end, or just move inside the relationship? The conflicts get subtler. Little spats over trust, sex, money, freedom. Maybe he fights off temptation. Maybe she occasionally tests him. They figure it's just normal relationship stuff. They do love each other. But that negotiation never truly stopped. The duel just became a gentler dance. Now picture an old married pair on their porch, decades together. Have they found peace, or just a long ceasefire? They seem content, finishing each other's sentences. But only they know the compromises behind those smiles. Perhaps they truly made peace. Or perhaps the war is just quiet now, dulled by time. Now turn this insight onto yourself. What will you do with it? Will you double down on defenses, hide your feelings, play harder so you never get hurt? Will you stay guarded, determined never to be the one who cares more? Or will you try a braver path, being honest about what you feel and want, even though you know it could backfire? There's no easy answer. This knowledge forces a choice. Keep the armor on, or risk vulnerability with eyes wide open. It's uncomfortable to see love in this harsh light. It feels like losing a bit of innocence. The next time you get butterflies, or even say I love you, you might wonder, is this real or just the game? It's disquieting to realize all this. But even now, you still long for love. Knowing the truth doesn't erase that longing. It just makes it more poignant. Maybe there's a glimmer of beauty in all this. If love is so hard, then each real connection is a small miracle. Think of those rare times when you and someone else both drop your guard and truly connect. Isn't that like a brief ceasefire in the war? However short, those moments of trust are precious, worth the struggle. Or maybe I'm being too sentimental. Maybe even those tender moments have quiet calculations beneath them, and I'm just romanticizing a lull in the fight. Maybe the war truly never ends, and every calm is just a chance to reload. That thought is haunting. Even our sweetest memories might rest on a truce. I won't tell you otherwise. It could be true. Welcome to the battle of the sexes, disguised as a candlelit dinner. Maybe the best we can do is accept this paradox. Love is both beautiful and brutal, selfless and selfish. Wisdom might be acknowledging that duality. To love with open eyes, seeing your partner as both your beloved and, in a sense, your rival. Not paranoid, just aware. Don't sink into cynicism, but don't live in a fantasy either. It's not a fairy tale, but it is reality. It's better to face this reality than live in a lie. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but clarity gives you power. Now you can catch yourself when you start to manipulate or when you're being manipulated, and choose differently. You might still play sometimes, but at least you'll know you are. Or maybe you'll refuse to play at all with someone you trust. You see the board now. You're not moving blindly. You can make choices with eyes open. You might notice things now that you never saw before. The subtle power exchanges in a flirting conversation. The quiet concessions one spouse makes. It's like seeing in the dark with new goggles. It can be sad to peek behind the curtain, but it's enlightening. You won't be so easily fooled by appearances anymore. And in your own relationships, you can be more mindful of the undercurrents that used to be invisible. Next time you're on a date or with someone you care about, pay attention. Notice the urge to impress or to hide your true feelings. Catch that flicker of fear that if you reveal too much, you'll lose power. See how both of you dance around each other with subtle moves. Two people unknowingly following an ancient script. But now you can see it happening instead of being blind to it. You'll feel both empowered and a bit sad with this knowledge. Empowered because understanding the rules gives you a control you never had. Sad because some of the magic is gone. You see the strategic dance behind the romance. You've woken from a dream. There's strength in that awakening, but also loss. The price of truth is letting go of comforting lies. Maybe you even feel nostalgic for when you believed in them. Yet seeing the truth can lead to a deeper kind of love. Not a naive love that imagines everything is perfect, but a mature love that decides to love in spite of the flaws. To love someone fully aware of their selfishness and fear, and to care for them anyway, might be the most genuine love. It doesn't end the conflict, but being able to say, "I see the real you and I'm not leaving," is perhaps the bravest form of love. If you can see the hidden battle beneath love now, let me know in the comments.